Hey guys, let's check out the Fontainebleau on the Las Vegas Strip. So this is the entrance on the south end of the property. And this car seemingly defying gravity. I'm pretty sure it's just some expert mechanics. And then we'll head inside and see what this place has added lately. It's opened, I think. It seemed like it opened with a little less than everything being in place, but it's been open for a while now, and I think they've added a lot of stores and storefronts that were once upon a time just, walls that hid. There was nothing there yet. So anyway, let's go see, and we're gonna start with this Kinetic art sculpture, which is really cool. It wiggles the pieces of it, and the sign says it's visualizing the tide off the coast of Helsinki. So somehow it's using that as an input and then rotates around to be, now the gold bricks are on this side. So that's cool. Looks like the Saint Laurent store is already open. It's just getting it outside. Fabulosity. So the dominant colors of the Fontainebleau are blue and silver, which doesn't create like the most warm, welcoming environment. Like if you think about like almost every fast food restaurant, they use like reds and yellows. And the blue seems very fancy, but it also just seems very cold. Like it's not really like, it's not really like welcoming, like a cozy wood earth tone space. And then this is the Sportsbook, and there's this restaurant that you can sit in the restaurant and check out the Sportsbook and the bar. So I have eaten here a couple times. I had a credit from tier matching, which is basically if you gamble at one casino, sometimes the other casinos will give you a matching level in the players' cards so that you will come check them out. And some of the tiers on the players' cards have perks, and one of the perks for the tier match ticket here was for a dining credit. I think it was $100 or $125. So basically just come and dine at one of the restaurants and spend $100 for free. So was gonna go to the Wynn Buffet on Christmas Day, I think it was, but there was a line and there was drama or whatever from not quite getting in with the card that I thought would get me past the line. So anyway, I'm rambling, but we came over here instead and decided to go there for using the free credit. I'm not the biggest high roller. I'm not claiming to be, just by the way. I just know how to work the system well. So, if you live in Vegas and you know how to work the system, there are some perks, for sure. So we'll walk around this edge first and then check out the rest of the place. I like the wall there that's all plants and stuff. And there's a chair if you're just shopping and just super tuckered out and you just gotta get a chair, I guess. So I don't know why they would have that chair other than just decorations. Right now it smells like toast, so There is a restaurant over here, I know. And there's this sort of little bar peek through there. Doesn't look like it's open yet. And here's this restaurant, or like a coffee shop. I know I got some macarons, I think's how you say it. I always say macaroons, but I've had those before. Little fancy cookies that were also part of using a dining credit. So yeah, you can get a Coke for, I think it's $7, $6 or $7. And then there's this giant gold and silver statue, which is, you know, pretty darn huge. You can see the guy sitting there at the bottom for reference as to how big the size is. And then up there is just the walkway from the parking structure. Let's check out the statue just a little more. I pretty much looked at it from this side, but I don't know what it looks like from that side. Oh, and then over here is this painting that, to me, looks like an egg. I don't know if it's supposed to look like an egg with also like a lady's hairdo, or if that's just my own imagination. So, and then, a little detail that you might not notice if you come here is that above the door there are little metalwork that together form an F and a blue, F and a B for Fountainebleau. So, if you look closely, you can see that is what it is up there. And those are sort of just around. But it also helped that before they took the sign off the side of the building, wow, that is an insanely long escalator. Like, there are some long escalators in Vegas, but that one looks like it just goes on for days. I've never taken it before, but wow, that's cool. I don't really, okay, yeah, maybe I get slightly more excited about escalators than most people. Like, I think the spiral escalators are too cool, but like, this escalator is just so long. Anyway, let's check out the escalator and the artwork. So I've been in here a few times, but I haven't checked out every nook and cranny. Like this escalator, I've never walked around to see that it just goes on and on for days. Like, how many stories is this escalator without a break? You know, there's some long escalators in places like Universal Studios, but they usually stop at each floor. And here we're going up. Like, this is probably the 3rd floor now, 4th floor, 5th floor, 6th floor. I think this is 7 floors for one escalator. That's too cool. So yeah, and there's the artwork from, now we're looking above. But look how far away those people are. This is one escalator. There are no stair alternatives because nobody's walking up this many stairs. Wow. So, hey, yeah, as I've said before, sometimes I see things I didn't know before and get excited about them, and you never know. So, doing these videos is fun for me too. But look, we are way, way the heck up there. And I don't even know, but there's another escalator that goes up even more. It's not as long. What's up here? I think it's probably just ballrooms or something, but that's crazy. That escalator, I'm still baffled. And this one's not like a short escalator. There's a breeze going through here right now. So based on the names, I'm guessing these are ballrooms up here, which all sort of have a blue connection. Oh yeah, so this is the conference room area. Wow, it's huge. I have never been up here. And there are bow ties, because the bow tie is the Fontainebleau's like logo, so there's bow ties hidden in a bunch of things around. But like that goes way, way down there. So it looks pretty much the same. So we'll do a little sampling of it, but then we'll make a U-turn and go back down the escalators. What can I say? I want to do them again. Oh, there's more escalators? That's what I would say about this place. It's so fancy. It's just not very cozy, I think, and that's its biggest problem. But it is super fancy. So look, there are more escalators going yet up. Oh my gosh, this escalator is huge too. There's so much convention space here. I'm just flabbergasted. Yeah, so they're conference rooms. But there are no more escalators. Elevators that way. And get down to level 4 that way too with an escalator. But let's go back. I really want to do the long escalator again. And often I found like when you go a different direction, it's a totally different view. So there's that part too. There's just a smattering of people here. Almost all of it is empty. But I had no idea this was here, so chances are most people don't. Oh, I forgot we got a short escalator before the giant escalator. And short being relative. Looks like somebody's having a private event out there that's catered. Is this open? Yes, it does. I'm hesitant to go out this door because, yeah, see, if you go out those doors, there's no way to get back in. And I'm not really going to try it. I don't want to get stuck out there. And we got to check out this escalator. So crazy. I love it. So yeah, there's at least 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 floors of windows that we can see that it went up past, and then there's 6 and 7. So it's at least 7 floors, and the bottom floor is bigger than the other floors. So crazy. So yeah, I think there's only just conference rooms up there, but it also says Live, which I think is a club, but I didn't see any club stuff up there. But I mean, it's not clubbing hour, it's early morning, well, mid-morning on a Friday in spring 2025. So let's continue our walk back through here. So I'm not sure what the name of this restaurant is. Almost went there, but it's just breakfast food, and I'm not the hugest breakfast fan, so I opted for the sports bar to use the dining credit. But it looks very pretty. I mean, like, looks wise, it's just everything here is like super nice looking. But it definitely stays with that blue tone everywhere. Tonight at the pool, there is you can watch Barbie. So this is Vida Restaurant. So tonight at the pool, I did see their promotional email that you can go watch the movie Barbie at the pool. And the only thing you need to do that is to be a member of their Players Club, which you can sign up for free, and they give you some free play just for signing up. So in other words, anybody can do it that's over 21 and signs up for their Players Club. But look, it's a restaurant that's red. So unusual for the Fontainebleau. So I guess it's because it's an Asian restaurant, and Asian people in theory like red. At least that's what I read online. Look, there's the high limit area. And then there's just more slots. One of the bad things about Vegas that I've noticed is that all the casinos have the same slots. Like, I would think it'd be beneficial to have some unique slots. And they used to have some more differences, but they've all just sort of opted to go with the same generic ones everywhere. I think the licensing fee on the braided ones has done them in, but you would think that one casino would be like, yeah, we got to pay a licensing fee for the slots, but at the same time, we're going to have people, you know, come here because our slot machines are different. So the Fontainebleau is a high-end casino too, so it has, you know, it's fancy shops like Cartier's opening. It says spring 2025, so no, you're cutting it close there. I don't know if they're gonna actually be open on spring 2025. We'll head into the middle of the center bar there in a minute. So this is Graf. I don't know what Graf sells. It's a huge influx of people right here. It's been mostly empty or reverb before. It's another escalator. I don't think it's as long as that one. I know it's not as long as that other one, surely. I've walked through this area quite a bit. No, it only goes up to second floor. So this way is towards the lobby of the hotel, which is very nice. And I know it has a name, but I can't think of it right now, where the cars come in, where the people get dropped off in a car and a valet and taxis. That has a specific name, but I can't support something, but I can't think of the name. Anyway, that's very nice here, very pretty. And these plants on this thing are nice looking. I don't think they're real. Maybe these down here are real. Could be. But no, those are definitely artificial. But very pretty. See. And then the golden blue colors still here. Golden blue everywhere. So that's probably invited guest check-in over there. The door to the right that we just passed. And then these flowers are real, which is pretty crazy. These roses in the middle. So they change out the decoration, you know, for seasonally. But these are real, fresh red roses. And there's a lot of them. A lot. Which is, you know, crazy that there are so many. I mean, I have no idea how many that is. That's just a crazy amount of red roses. And there's hotel check-in. And then this way is to, well, let's go out here. This is where the you know, taxi cab drop-off is, and limos and stuff. Don't know limos right now, doesn't look like it. So this area where the, you know, car drop-off is, very impressive looking from the road. I mean, it's not unimpressive looking from this angle, but if you're out on the Las Vegas Strip and you look in to this giant awning of sorts, you can see. And there's this fountain and the bow tie. We got some classic cars over here. I'm pretty sure it's not anybody's car that's just staying here right now. Oh, it's got Fontainebleau on the side of it. Like a little waiting area. The taxi cab. They're getting a taxi. So there's a taxi cab guy there to facilitate guests getting in the taxi. And then this is the passenger drop-off with, you know, limos and taxis and stuff. So if you want a taxi, you go back to that guy on the far left. And if you're coming in to a taxi, then you go to it goes here to the front. Just as an aside, I don't know if you ever listened to, there's a podcast called 99% Invisible. And one of the episodes talks about how door design handles should be indicative of whether you push or pull. And a lot of them are, but sometimes, like that one I just went on to open, it's not indicative of whether you need to push it or pull it to get through the door. So I did the wrong one, but I mean, I adjusted obviously and we made it through the door. But the best in design is that the handle indicates which way the door is going to go. Also, as an aside and then relatedly, you might not know that all doors need to go outwards of a building. So if you are in an emergency situation and you get, smushed, that the door opens outwards. Because if it only would open inwards, then that would be an issue as a safety thing. So, so this is the rideshare pickup area here, out that way. I'm not sure. Let's go see. Why not? That's what we do. I've never needed a rideshare pickup from Fontainebleau, so I don't know what it is this way, but maybe there's a giant escalator. Oh. Okay, not really, but I'm just making fun of myself for how excited I got with that escalator. So there's a dog relief area. So we're indoors, but it's some grass that you can spray off. And then looks like here's just so if you want to wait in the air-conditioned area, you can wait in this little room while the cars outside are in the normal temperature, because it gets pretty hot in Vegas. But now we're going to just for sure get the door the right way by waving our hand at the sensor. And the doors open by themselves. So, but of course it goes out because, like I was saying, it has to go out. There's the elevators to the parking garage, or at least one of the set of elevators. I think there's multiple parking garages, but I'm not, or there's multiple entrances, not 100% sure. So now we're coming back up into the hotel lobby because you got twisted around. But it's not that, I don't think this one is one of the more confusing layouts. I think this one's pretty easy to figure out which way, what's what. think this room is impressive looking too. But, I mean, you can't take your eyes off the... I don't know how many roses that must be. Like, just an insane amount of roses. So... and they even smell. I mean, they're real roses. So... I don't know what the point of that was, but, like... when I think what is the deal is whenever I sometimes talk about the Fontainebleau and I'm not here, I talk about things that make no sense. Like, why is there no sign on the outside during the daytime? It doesn't make any sense. And the color scheme does seem a little cool, like, you know, and not that super inviting. But, I mean, it's still just like a, you know, crazy level of luxury. You know, for compared to, I mean, if you stayed here, you are not gonna, you know, go, oh my gosh, that was horrible, or, you know, anything like that. You're gonna be like, wow, that was super nice. Maybe not the coziest, but, you know, if you want cozy, you can always just go get a log cabin. That's super cozy. But, you know, if you want to just stay somewhere that's nice, then, you know, this definitely fits the bill. You're not gonna stay here and go like, ugh. You know what I'm saying. So anyway, we'll continue on around the side here, and then check out the center bar, which is in the center. Sometimes you're amazed at my ability to connect the dots. I know, right? I like the curved glass on the front of these stores too. You know, curved glass is obviously fancier than flat glass things. And the Gucci store has its video monitors, of course, but it also has curved glass. Maybe not these panels right here, but they might be slightly curved. I think they're slightly curved. And then the panels around the corner are definitely curved. So we head around. Now see, this glass is definitely curved as it goes around. It's still in panels, but it's curved to give it that bougie extraordinaire. And the bathroom signs are a little cutesy too. There's she's got her legs crossed and he has his legs sort of hiked, one of it, you know, over to the side, like, I gotta go. And then there are some fancy restaurants on the side here. Mother Wolf, this one was getting all the praise right after they opened. Haven't been there, but even when I had my food credit, I wasn't really, it just didn't excite me. So it looked nice, but that menu had no prices that I saw. And then this one is newer. I haven't seen it when I've been here, like during, you know, operational hours for the restaurant. But curiously, it's not blue. So this is Don's Prime. And, you know, there's an Oscar style upgrade to your steak is $42. And, you know, the appetizers are in the 20s and 30s, looks like. Tiny print, but, you know, I think that's what it said. Okay, so let's go back around and go up the escalator. But before we do that, we'll check out the center bar. I think this looks very nice, but I just have to notice it's not blue. It's an interesting choice in the all blue casino. I just wonder if somebody's like, well, you know, we like the blue, but at the same time, maybe we could just, you know, try something that's not blue and see if it does well for us. This is the center bar, and if you look up at the little chandelier, the individual pegs, you'll notice that they are shaped like bow ties. So the bottom side is a bunch of bow ties. And then so we'll walk around over here. I'm not sure if these plants are real or fake. I'm gonna guess they're fake, but if you can't tell, does it really matter? There is that part about Vegas. So it's a nice little bar if you want to sit in the center and have a cocktail. Walk around the other side. I mean, the Fontainebleau, again, is one of those places where, like, the details seem to be pretty spot on. So, hopefully it all works out. And it doesn't get bought out by Caesars or MGM. That would be the worst case scenario, I think. So, we'll keep our fingers crossed that that does not happen. Let's see, here's the other side of the bar. And then up in the distance is the food court of sorts. So we'll go check that out. And we'll go up this escalator that's only one floor. So I've been by the food court a few times, and it's one of those food courts where just everything is insanely priced. Like, I don't think I saw a single thing that was like, that sounds reasonable. So I wouldn't swear to it in court, but I think I've never eaten there at all, just because it's so crazily priced. But if you're staying at Circus and want to walk across the... Is that 50-cent pieces? Oh my gosh, this is made out of 50-cent pieces. So if you look closely, it's $50. And they're been like welded or somehow adhered together to make this chair. So actual retail price of this chair, even if you just take it apart, is pretty expensive. That's crazy. So let's go. This says it's the pool and live beach and La Côte, I guess. Oh, look, it's another long escalator, but not as long as the longest of the long. So there are a lot of escalators in this property, even by Vegas standards. We have seen a lot of escalators today. Wow, I'm discovering like so many new things, like that chair that we just saw made out of 50-cent pieces. And still the cake is taken by that 7-story escalator. So curiously, we're up high. Is the pool and the beach area up high? Usually that's pretty down low, but like that looks like that's the beach right out there. We're gonna push outwards. We're not even gonna try it because the door handles are the same, but and then that says pool lobby, cabanas and day beds and aquamarine. So I think it might be this way. go try this way first. See if we can see anything. So there's some pool rules and there's a gate, but almost always the pool area is limited to hotel guests. So we're not hotel guests today. So looks like there's some people in the pool. Still spring, but you know, like it's warm in Vegas already. There's a bar here. You can grab a drink, sit by the pool. Then there's security, which, you know, is checking to make sure you're supposed to be in the pool area if you're going to the pool, staying at the hotel. So it says it's operating hours are 9 a.m. to 7 p.m., which is fairly late for a pool in Las Vegas. Most of them close early because they want to get you out into the casino. So now that sign that we just walked under said Live Beach is straight ahead. So is there a pool? That's probably what it is. There's a pool for, like, you know, just doing normal pool swimming type stuff. And then there's probably Live Beach, which is a day club. So it's like a nightclub, but operates during the day and has a pool. So I don't know what we can see by going this way. We might not see anything but a entrance, because, you know, they got to make it so I feel exclusive. Look, this is cool. And then, so yeah, looks like we're not going to see anything but it's the entrance where they're checking for, like, did you bring your own alcohol or something like that. But yeah, there's nothing there but, like, just a entrance, so we can't go that way. So it's really loud here too, so it definitely makes me think it's for sure a day club thingamajig, which, I mean, makes sense. I'm so good at putting dots together today, don't you think? So, okay, let's quiet it back down. Now we're gonna pull outward because we're outside. Oh, this door's locked. That was an evil trick you guys pulled on me. Thanks. I tried to go out and then the door wouldn't work either direction. Curious too, this hallway is not blue. I guess it's gold, so we're still going with it, but it's got some tan. Mostly everything else here has been blue and silver. The Alexander Wang fancy store. So let's see what this is. I think, based on the look, I think they're going to the fitness center. It says spa and fitness center this way. See some stores, and there's a bar called Nowhere, apparently, based on the signage. So there's no lack of clothing stores if you need some clothing while you're here. Well, there's La Fontaine, which looks like a, or is it La Fountain? How do you say that whenever? There's a cafe which is closed. So it's currently 1 o'clock, so I guess it closed at 1 o'clock. It's like 1:06. So it looks like a hair salon. Then there's the fitness center and a IV drip lounge, which is where they give you an IV to help rejuvenate your goodness after too much partying, basically. So where does this escalator go? Oh, okay, this is the escalator that I said, oh, that one goes up to the second floor. So to the right, if we go down here and we turn right, we would end up back at the lobby. So back that way is the lobby, and you can probably see some parts of it, maybe, or not, I don't know. But that's the Las Vegas Boulevard out the front door. But yeah, if you look, there is the fake plant column that I said that's near the lobby, and then this way we'll go back up to that level. But I don't think I've ever gone up this way, because the last time that I remember anything specific about this level or this area was there were Christmas trees and presents here, and I took some photos next to that, but I never came up this escalator. See, there's like bow ties on this one. This one doesn't have like end caps, which I don't think the other one had end caps before. I'm not 100% sure, but I think the gold sort of end caps give it an extra pow that it didn't have, like, so you would notice it just a little more. So yeah, so now that's how you get all twirled around. And we will eventually make it to the food court. So there's so many interesting detours we're taking. So as I've said before, when you come to Vegas and you're staying at a hotel or you're at a hotel, casino, just feel free to explore, because you will find things you didn't know. You can see there's a little bathroom just tucked away. I mean, it's got a sign, but like, you know, it's definitely not the main bathroom areas. And then you can go to any of these clothing stores. One of the things I wonder about these clothing stores, are they all just like on standby, and then they wait, so like at any moment they have to spring into place, like customer every places now, you know, they have like a little bell or something to let everybody know, like, places, the show is about to start. So here's another one that says opening spring 2025, so they're cutting it close too. And look, here's some more bathrooms with a curtain area, but this is a bigger area. I wonder if this one doesn't have doors on the front. The one back there had a door, so it might have been a single bathroom or just a few. So, and then over here we can look over the railing and see the casino below. And you can, you know, that's the thing about like lots of casinos or hotels in general that I don't know if people think about too much, is that if you just need a place to go like sit and chill, like say you're visiting another town and you want to just chill out for a minute, like you can often, in a big hotel at least, you can often just go to the lobby and find places to sit and chill and work on your laptop, or you don't have to go to like Starbucks you can go to a nice hotel and have a little fancier, less busy than Starbucks. And then looks like this restaurant is no more. Yeah, break is on a break. So that one was there. I've never gone there, like I said, but it was a restaurant before. And then this one, curiously, usually has ducks hanging up on the viewing area there, but I don't see any ducks. And I'm not even sure if that kitchen looks functional. They might have gone out of business too. I don't know. They got a menu still, but you can get a Peking duck for $150 and some stir fry. A sea bass is $62, and you know, you're dealing with those types of prices, so I can see if they didn't really find a market for that. So if we go over here, there's a pizza place. You need a piece of pizza or roadside taco, which one chicken taco $8, a fried fish taco $11. You need a chips and salsa trio, $12. If you want a Mexican Coke, it's $7. So, you know, spend $7 for a Mexican Coke. I'm presuming that's one in the glass bottle. Then these burgers are like $16. Chicken strip $16. So that's the thing. It's like if you come eat here, you're paying like sit down restaurant prices, and you're picking it up at a counter and sitting yourself. So if you're okay with that, then you know you can do it. But I don't know. It's just not my style. The only thing you're really saving is you don't have to do the tip, but it's going to ask you for a tip anyway on the screen, because you know that's how things work this way. And this place is currently closed, but I think it was just closed because it probably is one of those early in the day things. So there's a restaurant called Papi Steak up here, and I think this is where the theater is. Oh yeah, okay, so there's the Bleaulive theater. I'm not sure what shows play there. Oh, well, there's your answer. Pitbull, Alabama Shakes, Toto, Pitbull, and Marsha MP are some of the ones coming. So that pretty much covers the Fontainebleau in Las Vegas. If you like the video, go ahead and give a thumbs up. If you haven't yet subscribed, it'd be great if you did. And as always, I'll be back before long. So talk to you then. Have a good one. Bye.